Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga, the man with the plan. How's it going today, Joey?
What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's humid out there today.
It's hot and humid.
Yeah. At least we're on my way in, it was double digits instead of triple digits, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've got an exciting guest with us today. That's Aaron Auxier.
Ooh, yeah.
And this guy is exciting. He's going to bring some excitement to this show. You're going to love it. This guy here has been on over 30 appearances with CNBC, The Insider, E! Entertainment. The list goes on and on. Wall Street Journal, Los Angeles Times, Forbes, BET, Yahoo Business. I mean, this guy has been all over the place. Oh, and Entertainment Tonight.
Yes.
Fun. How are you doing, Aaron?
Thank you, Jeff, Joey. I'm very grateful for coming on to the Weekly Closer. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here. This is going to be a little bit different show, agents out there, because Aaron is going to be talking about some topics that, I'm hoping that it lights a fire under some agents and really helps them understand better ways to market themselves and to grow their reach and, be a little bit more creative, I guess you could say, right, in the marketplace. So, Aaron, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. I really love sharing, you guys, and I hope everybody listening out there, when I decided to come to Phoenix, I reached out to some of the top brokers out there, and everybody treated me really well. And being in this business for so long, I got into luxury real estate in 2004, and I've learned that to do well, it has to be beyond the self. So coming on here and talking about some of these topics and the fact that you guys find them interesting and relevant and that some of the listeners can benefit from it, it really means a lot to me.
Well, great. Well, you have, you had an exciting announcement here recently too, right? You've got a new, what's bringing you to the Valley anyway, you've got a new role and super excited about that, huh?
Right. So thanks for letting me announce that. So I just recently became Director of Creative and also President of Celebrity at the boutique luxury real estate team, Williams Luxury Homes. And that's really exciting. We're under the Sterling Fine Property brand, and we're real excited about what we want to do as this, I'd like to call it 2020 plus, okay? I'd like everybody to reframe their thinking. Let's forget 2019. Sure, finish it up, do it well. But us as professionals in the real estate industry, I don't care what you do in the real estate industry, it could be a handyman all the way to a top producing agent, you name it. We've got a real challenge ahead of us. However, the biggest opportunity, quite possibly, ever, when we look at 2020 through 2030, and especially, I think, those first 5 to 7 years, 20 to 2025. And I'd like to help people in the business understand what I have learned from studying some of the leaders in experiential marketing and tech, and basically on what needs to be done to stand out. And this isn't for everybody. The things we're going to talk about today, if it's not you, if it doesn't fit you, don't feel pressure about it. Do your thing. But for those of you who this resonates with, I want people to feel real excited. I want to quickly add in that, so I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk a lot, and something that he's been talking about lately, and I want to make sure to share, is that a lot of us above the age 35, I'm 45 years old, tend to think that this new world we live in is for 22-year-olds to 25-year-olds in this whole tech-driven world. Anybody over the age of 35 who's feeling like that, or anybody who's not a millennial or Gen Y, I want you to know that you can do anything you put your mind to. I don't care how old you are. You can dominate online too. And it's not an age thing. It is an approach thing.
I 100% agree with that. Absolutely. I mean, I'm super old and I like to get online. Post videos, videos and social media and all kinds of stuff.
Hey, do you have a personality? Then you could be, I'd like to be honest with you, I think Gary might do this, but I'd like to see some 70-year-old, 65, 70 and 80-year-old influencers start popping up. From what I hear, that's starting to become a thing, but I don't know much about it. But definitely there's a space for that online. And, across all industries, we need some, I'd like to see someone 70 years old dominating a space online in whatever niche it is.
Absolutely.
So it's just nice the younger crowd tends to get it. Although we all need to learn and study, they just kind of are built in. But those that this is foreign to, we know that the changes are happening.
Yeah.
What are they? What does it mean? But I just want to start before we even get into it. Anybody can do it. Don't doubt yourself. Unless, like I said, it's not your personality type. Faking this doesn't make it. It's the saying, fake it before you make it, does not work online, unfortunately, for a lot of people.
Right.
It's very, online consumers are very savvy, and they can tell a mile away if someone's faking it or not.
Absolutely. So why don't you explain then to the audience a little bit more about experiential marketing?
Right. So that's what we're primarily going to talk about. Experiential marketing. Google it. Get familiar with it. There's many terms for it. It's kind of sucks that there's so many different words for it, but it can also be called experience marketing or engagement marketing, content marketing 2.0, infotainment. But what it is, and we'll get into the core psychology and science of it later, but it's creating more engaging content. And in the real estate environment, this old don't reinvent the wheel attitude is dead. And I kind of joke around that there must have been, 50, 60 years ago. It's pretty small. It's not very big. It's the real estate marketing Bible. And it's just something I imagine in my head. It's only a few pages, and it says on the front, use these phrases. Do not change any words. This is what works. And it would be very salesy words like, everything I touch turns to sold, and I'm your right. And I could go on and on. I don't want to say too many because I don't want to offend anybody using these terms. But that book needs to be put aside, and there's a new book being written, and I can tell you it's not on paper. I'm going to tell everybody right now the 2 secret places. I'm going to reveal my biggest secret right now here on this show, guys.
All right.
And this is what landed me. Yeah, this is it. This is how I became director of creative and president of celebrity at Williams Luxury Homes. These are my 2 secret sources. I appreciate, outside of whoever's listening to this podcast, you keep it to yourself. There's a secret website. Everybody get a pen and paper. It's spelled youtube.com. And the second secret source that has a lot of information is spelled google.com. And what you could do is you could go on there and type in Experience Marketing Tips 2020 and just start studying. And there you go. There's my 2 secrets. And by the way, I didn't make that up. I stole that from a Beverly Hills broker named Peter Lorimore. I really like his he has a brokerage called PLG Estates. If you go check out his website, this guy is a total renegade rule breaker, and he's doing quite well.
All right, I'm going to check it out. PLG Estates?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Because they're embracing for their agents the uniqueness of each agent's personality. Gone are the days of what's your production numbers look like, and more of what's your personality. What is your reasons for doing this, and what is your potential? And by embracing a unique, diverse crowd, a small number of agents, these are boutique, like my team is boutique, his team is boutique, but it's, very worldly, it's very global. And there's a lot of different people, and they consider them punk rock stars of real estate, and these guys are killing it.
No, that's great. So how do you think that an agent then, moving into 2020, besides obviously going to YouTube and Google and get some ideas there, but what does it take? Like what because agents, when Joey and I teach agents around the valley here, they they're scared sometimes to go live on their phone or do a video on their phone. And I mean, what do you think it's going to take to get agents to get out there and break through that mold, I guess you could say?
I got the perfect answer. The difference that makes the difference is indifference.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Okay, stop caring about what everybody thinks of you. Start knowing what you know about yourself. Okay?
I like it.
Whenever you're doing something that's a little bit out of bounds, yeah, make sure you're following the laws and being professional, but you're not going to get anywhere. For every day you're not creating content, you're afraid. You're simply afraid of what others are going to think. Now, I'm not suggesting everybody just throws out junk content, but you're not going to learn unless you get out there and do it. Do some studying, learn the basics, and start putting out content. In a couple of years, you'll be much better at it.
Got it. No, I love it. I love it.
Makes sense.
You also,
and if you're with a firm that doesn't embrace that, maybe you want to talk to them about it at first. Like I said, know the law. Don't make a fool out of yourself. We'll talk later about experiential marketing and how dangerous it can be as well. Let's talk about that a little later. Let you ask me your next question. But yeah, besides that, you got to stop caring about what mom says, what Joe Blow says, etc., and you got to put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think video's the number one way to do that going forward?
I am going to go along with Gary Vaynerchuk and say that voice is going to become the most important form of SEO moving forward by 2023. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but voice SEO, just Google that term, voice SEO, look up some videos on it. All these devices in our homes, Alexa, Siri, etc., are the goal of Amazon, the goal of Apple, the goal of Google.
Yeah.
And many others, is that we're interacting with our devices. They should be much smarter within 3 years. If you've noticed, there has not been really what I would call a single breakthrough since they've launched. And there will be a breakthrough at some point. But if you do any kind of voice search right now, you'll notice the results that it returns. Instead of it being, your results in the search, the organic results, the voice results are different than what you'll find in copy or content results, meaning content being written word. So it's going to kind of be pushed onto us from what we understand, where even if you're hesitant of voice right now, within 3 years, it's going to be, from what is being taught, it's going to be hard to get great results without asking your device for it. And you can already test it, and you'll see that, and here's why, guys. Let's just call this the humanization of the internet. That's why humanized content is standing out today instead of this salesy, this stunning, spectacular, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about the square footage or the price. Show me the lifestyle. Make me call for the rest of the info. Listen, voice, when people ask their digital assistant a question, who's the top agent in Phoenix? What's the top 5 buildings in mid-rise buildings in Phoenix or in Scottsdale? The results come back a lot differently. So everybody's thought of what search engine optimization means is going to need to be revamped over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Wow. So podcasting, flash briefings, pretty much all that?
Yeah, I mean, podcasting is real big. And, I'll be honest, I've never even done it. Never really big on it. I like video and I like written word. That's what I excelled at all my life as a student, starting in the first grade. I love writing. But yeah, voice SEO is not something I can sit here and tell you guys I'm well versed on right now, besides listening to people like Seth Godin or Gary Vaynerchuk and others talking about the impact it will have. I mean, just go onto YouTube and type impact voice SEO business, and you'll see all kinds of videos about what impact will voice SEO or what impact will voice have. It's simply called voice. It will have on your business moving forward.
Got it. No, that's awesome. Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are reading their videos now, so it's very important to include closed captioning. A lot of millennials are on the phone, and I'm finding myself doing it. We have so much content to absorb. I'm finding myself sometimes doing 2 things or 3 things at once. My TV will be playing, and I'll be playing the closed caption of the video, and I'll be doing something else. And I understand multitasking is dangerous, but in some cases, it's very useful.
Yeah. I caught myself the other night. My wife was watching a program on Netflix or something, and so I was looking up at the TV, but I had my laptop, on my legs, and then I had my phone in my left hand, and looking at 3 different screens. Anyway. Right.
Yeah, don't multitask when you're spending good time with your family.
No.
What I mean? I'm not an advocate of that. I'm all about family.
No, note taken. Yeah. No.
Right.
Now you've worked with, you've also had some experience working with celebrities, and I have on here some notes, celebrity focus. What, you want to share a little bit about that?
Carefully. Yeah. So, the bottom line is, growing up in LA, I studied acting, starting at the age of 14. I was very lucky to get in with this old lady. She was probably at least 70, 72 years old when she invited me in. I met her through a family friend. It was out of her home up in the hills above Encino, overlooking the San Fernando Valley. And these classes were private, one-on-one. And she also trained Jodie Foster, Mariel Hemingway, Shannon Doherty. And these people would show up at the end of my classes. Talk about nerve-wracking. Pretty nerve-wracking. This lady was a legend. I studied with her until I was 28. When I moved to Vegas, I left LA at the age of 30 and decided acting wasn't panning out. It was time to move on. And I got into real estate, and I mixed the two. I mixed real estate and entertainment, and I called it Realtainment. And it was just an exciting approach to the business and catered to high-profile people. It doesn't mean they have to be celebrities. They could be a brain surgeon, or somebody who's used and wants a concierge-like service. And this is good because as these iBuyer type of programs come out and stuff, and they're trying to cut agents out of the business. Well, hey, I got a little punch back for them. Let's see you automate the niche of luxury and please multi-million-dollar buyers. It's a different world. It's not as easy to automate, and there's a lot of different challenges and or needs of someone who's searching in that 3 million and up. I kind of generalize it 3 million and up. But yeah, I've been representing high-profile people carefully, and I've never name-dropped one single name. Fiduciary duty is really big to me.
Yeah.
And I noticed, in Vegas, when I first started getting into it, there was a couple other real cool agents in the business talking about and they were naming like a couple of hip-hop stars and where they bought. And I was like, ooh, I don't like that. That could be dangerous. And, even if someone asked me to name drop them, even if I had them sign a contract and it was in writing that they wanted me to do, I don't think I would, guys. I think I would probably say I'm not the right agent for you. Yeah. I don't think I want to be affiliated with name dropping, names of clients. I don't think there's a big benefit to a high-profile figure announcing where they just bought multi-million-dollar real estate. I can't find one. I'm sure there are 1 or 2 benefits, but for me, those benefits died in 2008. Things are a lot more humble these days.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So who's the most popular person? I'm just teasing.
Yeah, right. And I'll make it clear so I don't seem super cool. We were going to talk a little bit about some of the endorsements I received, and only to give agents out there or title reps, whoever, like I said, this isn't just for agents.
Yeah.
Different ways to show their experience without having to list all their awards or be using the same old testimonials. Go do an experiment and go read 50 of your competitors' testimonials. go compare them in an app that shows how many keywords are the same words. They're almost like 50 to 60, 70% the same words.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, right? I mean, was that my closing? Was the very best? You guys, millennials, and this isn't all about millennials. The millennials and Gen Y, what they are pretty much demanding online today is kind of spread to older generations such as mine. And the thing is that I used what I call endorsements, and I went around and asked. It started small with leaders in business in my community, and then it ended up with some of the bigger endorsements I have today. But none of those are clients. I would never take an endorsement from a client. Yeah. I don't care who it is. It could be, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you wouldn't share testimonies from clients to potential clients or on your website or anything like that?
I would not. No, I don't. I never have. Nope.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And here's the reason why, guys. I'm not saying that people who do are doing anything wrong. I'm not here to say that at all. If that's working good and everything, that's cool. I have no problem with that. But what I'm saying is, there's a few things I'm tired of in the business. I'm tired of buyers being called buyers. I'm tired of sellers being called sellers. I think those are inhumane terms. I know that they perfectly explain, but are you a buyer or seller? How about, are you looking to purchase or sell real estate? There's another way of saying it. And so there's a few things that just because I think it's right doesn't mean anybody else has to. But no, I don't use client testimonials. What I do use though, guys, is I make sure that press appearances I've made, that I make PDFs of them. Whether if it's a magazine, a PDF, if it's on TV, I make sure that there's always somebody with me to take pictures as I'm filming. And then when it airs, I'll take screenshots of it airing with like the logo. So that way I have social proof of those appearances. So it's not just I've noticed a lot of professionals, not just in our industry, they'll run an ad like in New York Times and this and that, and then they'll say as seen in, and then they'll have the logos of those. That's not, to me, that's not being seen in. I'm talking about being featured in. So that's my way of giving social proof of my credibility. I would rather someone come across someone who's looking at me versus a competitor and make their decision not based on what a client said, but based on what someone, an industry leader, doesn't even have to be in real estate, someone is big, someone who's interesting, what they have to say about my character. And if you browse through my endorsements, a lot of them do mention real estate or marketing, et cetera. Some of them are from casting directors, shows I've done and stuff. But no, I don't like naming clients, even if it's a normal purchase, in a normal, whatever we all, that's subjective, but a normal price range. I don't like naming the names of my clients. I just think that that's their private. We say it's the most important decision they'll ever make, right? Or one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't like naming them. And then the second thing is, guys, is that a lot of times professionals will go around that by just putting the person's last initial of their name, or their initial of their last name. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm a consumer, I'm questioning if Joe and Lisa G actually exist. Who's Joe and Lisa G, right? So I find that doing an endorsement by a high-profile figure is, some of the endorsements I've received, I'd be nuts and out of my mind to make them up. I'd be sued in a heartbeat, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's my personal decision, though, and I'm not pushing that on others or saying that that's the right way or wrong way. What works for you is what works for you. But if you're going to do client testimonials, go read what they sound like on most of your competitors' sites. And I don't like the word competitors. I think we should all be working together, but other agents. And try to write something, try to have your clients write something a little bit different and shorter and to the point. Yeah. Maybe something about your character, your personality, not so much about the fact that you were the best at this and the very this. and this and that. We all pretty much know the general tasks of this role or that role. I don't want to get into real estate agent or title person or inspector, but we all kind of know if you're doing good in those, you're most likely pretty good, or have transaction coordinators or whatever handling those things and are pretty good. So I think it's kind of repetitive to put those in testimonials, and I just have to say that it's not just me saying it, they're just not being read anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they kind of, like you're saying, I mean, if they all sound the same, then they just kind of blend in and does it really have an impact?
I have a saying, guys, stop selling, start telling, okay? Stop closing, start opening. What the heck do I mean by this? Well, by selling the product. How about tell a story about the area, like Old Town Scottsdale? Hey, down in Old Town Scottsdale, this is what your life would be like if blah, 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 or this or that. And instead of closing, which, you know, it's nothing against closers. They're very important and they're good at what they do. But being a finder or an opener, I just learned this in a really interesting video. And unfortunately, I don't remember. It wasn't a Gary Vee video, but it was about what's the most important, an opener, or they call them finders, a middleman, like a transaction coordinator, and the closer. And it turned out that the finders are by far the most valuable and the most hard to find. And the finders are the ones who open up the conversation and get those new clients. And I know that we all want referral-based business, of course, but finders create new relationships. And new relationships today are, for the most part, formed in the online space. And if you want to be found and found to be relevant and worthy of being read, then, you know, it's got to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah, good stuff.
I have something written down here too. Empathetic disruption. You want to share what that means?
Yeah, sure. Well, they don't go. So I came up with it after Gary Vee, and again, I can't stress enough for people to listen to Gary. You know, he at 30 years old, he was worth $100,000, and he made an ass out of himself. Pardon my French, for a year and a half on YouTube, and everybody laughed at him. He disrupted the wine industry, and he did it by being silly and goofy. But you know what? He was authentic and real. Okay. And after 16 months of being completely just, you know, receiving messages of kill yourself, you're an idiot, you don't belong here. He's now 43 and he's worth $160 million. So I think he's a good source to listen to about online marketing moving forward. And the number one rule, according to him, for this engagement marketing or experiential marketing, same thing, is that you, number one, have to start with empathy. So before you create a page of content or a video or a social media post or voice moving forward, there's something called content design I'll share with you guys. It's a class you could take in London. Unfortunately, I think that's the only way to take it. It's a 3-day course. Before you create that content, kind of sit and think for a few minutes. Clear your mind, no sound, no noise, and, you know, whatever works for you, meditation, prayer, whatever, and think about who that target audience is for that piece of content and have empathy for them. Who are they? So they are blank, looking to blank so that they may blank. Fill in those 3 blanks and create your content with an empathetic approach towards that. Make it engaging and fun and exciting. Whether you have comedy built into you or your edginess, you have an edge to you, make it engaging and different and not boring. And at the same time, empathetically, with care, truly care about them and what you're doing. That goes for any industry today. If you don't truly love what you do, come this next decade, guys, you're not going to do well. It's just the way it is. You have to love this. I hope that people can hear my voice that I love this, and that's why I love sharing it. It's for the greater good. So empathy starts everything, guys. From now on, gone are the days of that salesy person. I don't know about you guys, but whether I'm a $400,000 or $200,000 first-time home buyer, and I'm a young couple, or I am the CEO of a record label, and I'm buying a $5 to $15 million property or whatever. I don't want to be closed anymore, guys. I want to be educated and connected by someone who really actually cares. They really do care. And that means a lot to me. And those people are standing out, and they're proving that they care through the content they create.
Yeah. No, that's great. That is great.
Yeah, that's great information.
So when I say empathetic disruption means we all think, let's disrupt the industry. We're going to disrupt the industry. Well, I just came up, I didn't come up with empathy. You know, I got that from Gary, but the bottom line is I came up with, you know, empathetic disruption because, yeah, just by being empathetic alone, you're going to stand apart from most of your competitors.
Yeah, agreed.
You know?
All right. I like it.
I think as an industry, we can raise the bar, and I'd love to see the Valley of the Sun. Like I told you guys, I'd like to see the Valley of the Sun set the new standard as far as in the real estate industry. I'd like to see the Valley of the Sun beat New York and Beverly Hills to the punch when it comes to this type of representation and speak, if you will. Could you imagine that?
There, you calling them out?
I mean, yeah, I'm calling out everybody in the industry. Yeah, let's do a better job. Let's raise the bar. Let's reinvent the industry in a healthy, good way, and let's compete and stay relevant in our industry as colleagues. Okay, yeah. That's why I don't like the word competitor. You know, I have to use it so people know what I mean. But at the end of the day, we got a new competitor, and they've got billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they've got algorithms. And they're trying to automate us right out of the industry. And it's not game over yet. They're not a proven business model yet. We'll know by 2025. And if they're successful at what they do, there's a lot of professionals in the business who think that 30% of brokerages or agents will be out of the business by 2025. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be successful. Will they have some success? Absolutely. And in my opinion, and does AI have a huge, huge future? I would have to say yes. But is it time to give up? No way. Let's take it to a new level, and let's refine our game. And, you know, let's offer what AIs at least can't do for now, and that's have great personalities and empathy. According to Google and according to, like, Dr. Ben Gortzel, if anybody's ever watched him, he's really interesting AI guy. He's real interesting. I would suggest start listening to these companies' plans for AI. Their plan is to hit what's called AGI in the next decade, and that's artificial general intelligence. And basically that's defined by consciousness, an AI that becomes conscious and gains a personality and a sense of humor and can be empathetic. They're claiming they're going to make that happen anywhere between now and 2100. So most Google and them say by 2045 they guarantee they'll have it. People could laugh at that. I decide not to laugh at it because I understand AI and machine learning. I've been studying it as a hobby for 15 years. But right now I can tell you that it's not very, go talk to Siri. It's not a great conversation, is it?
No. No.
You know, I will tell you, it's kind of freaky. I don't know if you guys have heard about, I forget which device is doing it, but a lot of people are complaining that it's one device, it's a standalone device, and when people are telling it like to turn the lights off or could you play some music, it's just laughing at them.
That's
so I know there's a lot of people listening right now going, voice, no way, that's creepy. Yeah, wait till they force it on us, and you know, no more. You search when Google when the search engine result pages start returning only like the big guys. You guys are going to notice more. I don't know if you've noticed, but the organic results are starting to be filled up with Zillow and Trulia and an Open Door, and the individual independent contractor is in a lot of industries are starting to be replaced with giant portals for those types of services. We're talking just real estate and beyond.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, but right now, voice is kind of creepy. Yes, I completely get it. That's why when I heard voice AI is like the next big thing, I'm like, oh no, I don't want, hey Siri, can you turn the lights off? And she goes, ha 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 ha. Yeah, I'll wait a little bit, guys.
I just saw a headline of an article, and that's what it was. It said, people find a lot of this new technology really creepy, but they keep using it. So,
right.
Anyway.
Like I said, I don't like the word forced upon, but how do you stay relevant, right?
Yeah.
If you want to keep paying for $10,000 ads in Distinctive Home magazine or whatever, not to call anybody out, but in these really expensive magazines, go for it. We'll see it. We'll talk in 2025, and we'll see how you're doing, and we'll see those who embraced it. Being 45, I grew up before this age, right? And so, but I happen to have a passion for it. Does that mean I support everything about it? No. There's a lot of big ethical questions that need to be answered. And I don't know that they'll be answered. Someone is going to maybe create something that does what it does before there could be true review by, look how blockchain pops up out of nowhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Not to say it's a bad or good thing. I'm not saying that. Just saying is a new technology, and it allowed for. What my question is will it be blockchain that's running the internet in the future, or a hybrid? We now know that blockchain's not perfect. It has been infiltrated. However, smart contracts, guys. Once smart contracts are really smart, that's not good for the human. That's not good for the human professional.
Yeah. Yep, I get your point. Absolutely.
I mean, it's good for record keeping, but once it starts to become too smart, I guess we'll nickname them smart ass contracts at that point. It'll be Terminator, right? But the bottom line is that, yeah, they'll be helpful at first, but once they become too smart, then, the people, here's my point. We as professionals need to show the consumer we care, and we really do need to care. Get into an industry you care about or a niche of real estate you care about, and show people that with passion and help solve their problems without being salesy. Show social proof of your experience without having to slam it down their throat. Like I said, the difference that makes the difference is indifference. And if you do it properly, you'll find it's a lot easier than you think. You don't have to sell yourself as much today if you take on a different approach. We say when you get into fitness, you got to start with the diet. Start with the foundation, and it's a lot easier at the end of the day, and it's better for everybody.
Now, Aaron, great information, Aaron. Thank you so much for sharing. Any other points you want to make for sure to the agents that are listening or listening that before we move to the next segment?
Well, I do just want to say to the luxury managing brokers and broker owners of some of the finer companies out there, I'm not going to name anybody and say how I define that. I want to say thank you. I definitely spoke with a few before William Lewis and I came to. We were just like, wow, we felt each other right away, and we both knew that this was the right relationship. But I was treated very nicely by professionals out there, and I just want to say thank you. And I want to I'm excited to get out there, and I'm grateful to I'm grateful to the Valley of the Sun, let's put it that way, and to its professionals. People have been really nice to me, and I appreciate that, including you guys. So thank you to everybody. And my goal is to create friendships. And if anybody ever has a question for me, I don't care if you or with another firm or whatever, you want to say hi and introduce yourself, please do. I love meeting new people, and especially people who don't get this. This is a wider world agenda for me. I look forward to, you guys try being raised in LA and Vegas for 45 years, raised, right? I mean, at 30 in LA and then till about 42 in Vegas, and then spend 3 years, no diss against Montana, but I've been up here running the celebrity division, and it just hasn't been a good match. I can't wait to get back to the West Coast, and the people that I've spoken to understand my language and have been really nice, and I'm very grateful for that.
Awesome. All right, well, you ready to get in the ring? It's our last. We got some
box. We're gonna box.
We got some rapid fire questions for you.
All right, let's go.
Well, if you were here in studio, you'd see we have some Mexican wrestling masks on the table. So.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right.
What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Oh man, I would have to say to live for reasons beyond yourself.
All right.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good one. How about a favorite mobile app?
Man, I like this mobile app called Magisto. It's a video editing app that uses AI.
Oh.
And it automatically makes your videos hip and cool and edgy and stand out. It gets to know your face, and it will, depending on which it has a bunch. If you pay for the free version, doesn't have a lot, but if you pay for the middle version, it's pretty fun. It's pretty neat. Magisto.
Magisto. Okay.
Magisto app. Okay, got it. How about a book recommendation?
Oh man, I don't read too much anymore because I consume everything through video. But I mean, straight up, like the purple. Let me give a couple. The Purple Cow by Seth Godin.
Yep, it's a good one.
Okay, and definitely something from Gary Vaynerchuk back in when he was like just first starting out. Pick any one of his books. I mean, Gary is awesome, and what he faced and the kind of hatred. And the way he disrupted the wine industry, I think we can all learn something from Gary Vaynerchuk. It's definitely something from. I'm sorry, I know it's rapid fire, but I wanna name one in particular, and I've read so many. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna name one in particular that I really enjoy. There's so many. Crush It.
Crush It. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
His first one.
Yep. Good. It's his first book. I mean, Keep it simple, stupid, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. That's a good one. And final question. I'm going to change this one up a little bit since you're from the LA area, and hopefully you'll share with us on this one. How about your favorite actor and favorite movie?
Ooh.
Man, this is a good question. I'm gonna be blunt. I mean, I'm all into masculinity, but the Titanic's my favorite movie of all time.
That's an awesome movie.
I mean, it's a great movie, man, and it touches. I've always had a love of that ship and that movie. When James Cameron pitched that to the studios, the movie itself is just awesome. But when James Cameron pitched it to the studios, they laughed at him, and they go, what is the concept? And he said, very simple, take Romeo and Juliet and this ship. And he had like a model of the Titanic, and he set it right down on their desks and said, take Romeo and Juliet and mix it with this. And they're like, what? And nobody believed in him, and it could have been a huge failure, but that movie is very touching. And I think to this day, it really stands as a true testament to great filmmaking. And let's point something out, guys. That's the power of storytelling, and that's what engagement marketing is. And like I said, your story better be true, but otherwise people will be able to tell a mile away. Don't tell fake stories, but that's why we give movies and directors and actors so much power, and that's why we read nighttime stories to our children, because the art of taking someone to where they can't be yet is very powerful. And that movie did that for me. And I think there's a lesson to be learned there as far as our business. And, my favorite actor, gosh, I don't know. It might be Leonardo DiCaprio. I think that he arrived on the scene, I fell in love with Kate during the movie, right? But Leonardo DiCaprio, as far as he's made, look how many great movies he's made.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So I like this rapid fire. I had no clue you guys were going to pull this out on me. This is cool. I like it. Yeah.
Well, that's the last one for you. So,
all right,
Aaron, this has been great information.
We appreciate
it. And
cool.
Let us be two of the first ones to welcome you to the Valley of the Sun. I know you'll be here soon.
Thank you.
And you're gonna,
thank you very much. I'm excited.
I
really look forward to it.
They did tell you they did tell you you're going to be moving during one of the hottest times, right? No.
Right. I know. But you got, I have 15 years. Let's see, 13, 12 and a half years experience in Vegas. So I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I spent some time. I spent some time in the Valley of the Sun. I've been there a couple times.
Good. All right.
And yep. So it was my original destination when I left LA. And just in closing here, I have family there, and that was going to be my original destination until someone told me, oh, there's this new master plan community in Vegas called Summerlin, and I was like, I'll never move to Vegas. Looked into Summerlin, and it was really nice, big master plan community. And I fell in love and moved there and got into the business. And me coming to Phoenix, Scottsdale area, this is meant to be. This has been in the works for 15 years. And the way it appeared back in my life is kind of neat. I won't go into great detail, but it could have been numerous cities, and it was or Death Valleys, I should say. And it was you who it was you and your people that embraced me, and I'm very grateful.
That's awesome. Well, I have a feeling, I believe you're going to do great things out here with your new role. So that's awesome.
Thank you, guys. Any questions for me or anything else?
Nope. That's. I think that we got everything down here. So definitely appreciate you being on and sharing. I think this is a very relevant message for agents today going into 2020. They definitely need to rethink how they're doing their marketing and how they're doing their message. And I'd say be bold with that message. So
be bold, find your story, and make it, find that deepest core of you, and don't be afraid to tell it, you guys. Guess what? There's some people going around saying, and not just in real estate, the flawed salesperson is the new relevant. Okay. So it's better to be flawed and real and authentic. Yeah, be yourself. Don't retake this video every time you go over your word and you don't say it perfectly. Be yourself. Just be yourself. No longer do you have to have the best editing software or the best this and that. I do recommend sound is cool. It's good to have a mic. I don't have one right now, but I'll get one. But the bottom line is I haven't really been creating content as much as I've been studying it. I've been writing a website for the last couple of years. It's not online right now. So I haven't even been able to really, share like all this. So I just want people to know that they can do it, not to be afraid of it, be themselves. And yeah, little apps like Magisto can definitely help, without you having to learn Adobe Premiere. And, by hiring ghost bloggers and hiring people to do this for you, it's really hard to be hyper local when your ghost blogger is, in another state or whatever. I recommend, everybody tries to find the time to do it themselves. And that time is out there for a lot of us. Absolutely. Even if it's you going about your day in the business and what your day involves, and come with me, and we're gonna stop by this property I have listed, and blah blah blah. You don't even really need to go into the details. You can just visit it, and by the way, if you're interested in it, people are gonna know. Oh, this guy's got some neat listings. I like mid-rise condos, seems to specialize in mid-rise condos, or I like golf course homes, whatever, you know, be you. It's fun and exciting. It's a great time to be yourself. Never been a better time. And in last closing here, we are in the fourth industrial revolution, you guys. So very few are going to understand it, but those who understand it have great potential to do very well for themselves. And the most importantly, it might sound corny, but to me, that means the greatest ability to help others. I've been taking care of my mom, who's been fighting cancer for 12 years, guys. And I can't think of a more humbling thing that has made me, has really humbled me as a human being. And I really look forward to doing some things out there for children in need or anybody in need. You know, I think that the better we make it, the better we can help others who aren't as lucky or as fortunate as us. Maybe that's health-wise, maybe that's money-wise. But I really encourage giving back. I think that's something that's really powerful to end this on. Most very successful leaders you study seem to be pretty big into philanthropy, and I think there's something there, and I think it's really important.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So, well, agents, you heard it here. Get out there, make some waves, cause a ruckus, share your story. So until next time, we'll see you later.
Have a good one, guys.